You won't get out.
I'm going very slowly. I can't get out.
You can't get out anyway. It's
Time
closed.
I need to
Don't
get
be
out.
so stupid. I'm gonna kill someone if you don't.
I went very slowly.
So many berries everywhere.
Oh my god, we're not wrecking it! Oh, there's so many berries out here! There's so many berries!
Were you born here?
A whole long thing when I'm just here for a couple of items.
If you need them so badly, why not just put on a mask? My name's Aiden Bearpaw.
Welcome back. Let's watch as this Karen's explosive outburst takes an unexpected turn, leading to instant karma that you won't believe. The fallout from her rude behavior is both shocking and satisfying, and don't miss this jaw-dropping moment. In this first case, buckle up as we explore the tragic story of Karen Carr, a missing car, and the ensuing chaos of a marathon. On the morning of May 20th, 2020, on a road in Plymouth hosting a long-distance race, thousands of runners are preparing for the city's annual half marathon. The event is meticulously planned, with road closures lasting several days to ensure the race runs smoothly and safely for all participants. However, a mistake by one racer leads to an unexpected turn that no one saw coming. As the runners set off, the streets fill with eager spectators cheering on the runners. Everything seems to be going according to plan, but an incident is about to disrupt the race and make headlines across the region. Enter Karen Carr, a racer whose journey is unexpected. Karen was in a hurry that morning, and although the road was closed in public, Karen parked her car in front of the barrier to wait for the runners to pass. But because it took too long and the line was still long, Karen quickly lost patience. This caused Karen to act recklessly, and she immediately moved her car onto the track. A man in a white shirt noticed Karen's reckless actions and blocked her car to ensure the safety of other runners, but Karen continued driving. Karen's actions angered the runners nearby, who blocked her car, forcing her to stop, one of whom called the police.
You won't get out.
I can't get
You can't
out.
get out anyway. It's
Right,
closed.
You're right, excuse me, I'm a police officer.
Fucking unbelievable.
Listen.
You're breaking the law.
I have tried time I need to
Don't
get
be
out.
so stupid. I'm gonna kill someone if you don't.
I went very slowly.
Don't you move. It's not anything.
According to Karen, she was late for an important appointment and did not know about the road closure that had been in place for several days. She claimed that the information did not arrive in time, putting her in a dangerous situation when she entered the restricted area. As the situation became more tense, the police were called in to calm the chaos. The marshals decided that Karen Carr would have to wait until the entire race was over before she could leave. This decision was made to avoid any further disruptions and to maintain the integrity of the event.
It takes me a long time to get ready. Oh, fuck you. I'm writing to the council.
Yeah, you right.
I will, because we've had no information.
Stay there. Don't you move. It's not anything. Stay there.
Well,
Turn your engine off.
you can phone the workshop.
Turn your engine off. Stay there.
I have tried
Stay there.
every which way
Stay.
to
You
get.
live local. You've driven
I
past
live
that
up
sign.
there.
You've driven past that sign every day.
I know that it was happening, but it doesn't say when you're
Every
supposed.
day you've driven past that
Jesus
sign.
Christ.
Stay there.
Tell that person to kick me to get.
Karen, the wait was not pleasant. While in the car, she was subjected to a barrage of criticism from spectators and runners. Public scrutiny was intense, and social media quickly picked up on the incident, amplifying the criticism and turning Karen into an overnight sensation, albeit in an unflattering way. The incident quickly went viral. Posts, tweets, and comments flooded in, with people expressing their frustration and confusion over how such an incident could have happened. The attention on Karen was relentless, and the criticism she faced was fierce. Many questioned how anyone could be so ignorant about such a major event and the road closures that came with it. This is a fitting punishment for Karen. Karen's actions were classified as dangerous and reckless as she recklessly drove into a crowded area. If several people had not stopped her and the police had not intervened, many consequences, such as causing injuries to the marathon runners, could have occurred. Under the UK Road Traffic Act 1988, dangerous driving is defined as driving that fails to meet the minimum standards expected of a competent and careful driver, including conduct that is likely to endanger yourself or other drivers. If Karen's reckless driving caused an accident, she would face a sentence of between 3 and 5 years in prison and a fine of up to PS 5,000. Let's move on to the second situation where racist Karen is knocked out in shame. The incident occurred on May 22nd, 2024 on the High Knoll Trail in Minnetonka Regional Park in British Columbia, Canada. The High Knoll Trail, a popular hiking and nature trail, is where the incident occurred. The situation began when a group of schoolgirls were out for a walk and began eating berries they found along the trail. Their casual foraging action seemed fairly harmless, but it quickly drew the ire of a woman later identified as Karen. According to the video that has since gone viral, the woman approached the girls, her frustration evident. She began by scolding them for picking the berries, expressing her displeasure with their actions. "I pay for this park, and I don't want to see people vandalizing it," she said, her tone sharp and accusatory. The girls, who were not on camera, responded calmly, trying to explain their point of view. "And we didn't destroy it. There were actually a lot of berries everywhere," they said. They seemed genuinely confused as to why their actions had caused such a reaction.
I pay for this park, and I don't like to see people wrecking it.
We're not wrecking it. There's literally.
Why don't you mind your own business?
You know, that is the fucking rudest thing you've said to me.
Why don't you mind your own business? Why don't you mind your own business?
You know, that is the fucking rudest thing you've said to me.
You decided
Go
to come
back
up
where
to
you
us.
came from if you want.
The tension continued to rise. The woman resorted to abusive language, calling the girls idiots in a contemptuous and demeaning manner. This was more than just an argument about park rules. It had now turned into a personal attack. The situation became complicated when the woman, seemingly frustrated by the girl's reaction, made a racist remark. As she walked away from the confrontation, she turned around and said, "You know, that was the rudest thing you've ever said to me," her voice filled with indignation. Karen's use of a racist slur was both shocking and offensive. She continued to scold the girls, telling them, "Go back to where you came from. If you want to use that kind of language," this comment added a disturbing layer of racism to an already tense exchange. The girls, perhaps taken aback by the woman's racist comment, responded by pointing out that they were born in Canada. The woman in turn admitted that she was born in the United States but currently resides in British Columbia. This detail seemed to add to the girls' frustration, leading them to call the woman a colonizer and tell her to go back to where she came from. This was the knockout blow that left Karen humiliated and unable to argue back.
Are you First Nations?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't call me a colonizer.
You're a colonizer.
Oh, so but we are Canadian too. I was born here.
I was born here too.
Okay.
Were you born here?
No.
Okay,
Oh.
so this is actually like I was born here and you're not even born
My
here, and you're
grandparents
telling me to
Doesn't
go back
matter,
to
you're
wherever.
telling us-
Were your grandparents born here? No.
Look, she's smiling. She wants.
Getting a reaction out of you too, aren't I?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
According to the Canadian Criminal Code, verbal harassment can be prosecuted under Section 264 of the Criminal Harassment Act. Section 264.1 of the Canadian Criminal Code deals with uttering threats, which is an offense for anyone who uses words to threaten or cause fear to another person. And this includes serious threats or threats that cause the person being threatened to feel fear or anxiety. It applies to threats or words that cause fear. Karen's actions could lead to a number of legal charges. Hopefully with this lesson, Karen will stop her racist behavior. In this final story, we delve into a specific and dramatic case that took place at a local store, raising questions about rights, regulations, and customer service. The story includes a confrontation over a mask mandate, a 911 call, and a deep dive into legal and social perspectives. On October 9th, 2020, a cozy little shop called Bones and Scones in California. The drama begins when a customer, whom we will call mask customer Karen, visits Bones and Scones. She is met with a policy requiring all customers to wear masks. The store employee, in compliance with this policy, politely asked her to put on a mask before entering. This request set off a chain of events that led to a dramatic 911 call. During this confrontation, the customer expressed that she was unable to wear a mask for medical reasons. She claimed that wearing a mask would cause a panic attack or anxiety attack, a situation she was clearly trying to avoid. The store employee, on the other hand, was simply following the store policy, which was designed to ensure the safety of both customers and employees.
Technically discriminating.
I mean,
I'm
if
not
that's how
here
you
to do
want to.
that.
No, I'm just saying. I
I'm
can
not-
provide
I
you
don't want-
reasonable
I
accommodation.
won't wear a mask because I can't. I'll have a panic attack. I will freak out. I will have an anxiety attack. I know what I want. I'm here at the end with the understanding no one's in the store. You can either accommodate Vista Chino, B as in boy, 3, and they close in 6 minutes from now as well. And I'm just here to buy a couple of items. So I don't know if this is going to turn into a whole long thing when I'm just here for a couple of items.
If you need.
During the call, she repeatedly asserted that she had a religious exemption and a God-given right to breathe freely, and that the mask mandate was not a legally binding law but an emergency measure. She mentioned several names and organizations, indicating that she was fully informed of her rights and prepared to take legal action if necessary. The dispatcher assigned to handle the call listened carefully but remained calm and professional. She explained that she could not influence the store's decision and advised the customer to wait outside until an employee could arrive. The dispatcher also clarified that she had no control over the store's closing time and that the issue would have to be resolved by the employee who arrived.
If you don't want to wear a mask, then fine.
So would you like me to call 911?
I really would not like you to.
Okay,
I would like
to not also. So there is
get
no
a-
one in the store. There is no one in the store.
There's me in the store.
So I don't know if this is going to turn into a whole long thing when I'm just here for a couple of items.
If you need them so badly, why not just put on a mask? It's so
because
easy.
I won't wear a mask.
Okay, that's your decision.
Okay, yes.
Ma'am, okay. Just try not to argue. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put
No,
a call in
I'll
for
follow
you,
your
okay?
lead. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
And can I get your name? Citywide.
Right, but it's also not a law. So I could actually, so you're one of the first people that I've called 911 who actually doesn't seem to understand. Peggy Hall, and those are names that you might not be familiar with, but I am, and I know that everyone who calls in order to have their rights be supported.
As the customer waited outside, tensions continued to rise. The store was approaching closing time, and the employee reiterated that they could not make exceptions to the policy. The customer insisted that she be allowed in, arguing that the store had to accommodate her request regardless of their existing rules. From the store employee's perspective, the situation was simple. They were required to enforce store policy for the safety of all customers, especially when the store had older customers who may be more vulnerable. The policy was not just about following the rules, but also about maintaining a safe environment for everyone. Throughout the encounter, the customer recorded her interactions, presumably to document her story. She expressed frustration at what she perceived as a disregard for her rights and even mentioned that she might pursue legal action leveraging her understanding of rights and regulations. Eventually, a police officer arrived at the store. The role of the police officer is to mediate the situation and ensure that both the customer's rights and the store's rights are respected. The officer asked the customer to stay away from the store, explaining that while they would listen to her concerns, they did not have the authority to dictate store policies or enforce entry if the store decided to close.
There's also not one person in the store. They're about to close. You know, stores are actually accommodating
Do they
people.
have a sign posted that is saying that they're...
So,
Officer, could you ask her to
Bearpaw?
step away from the door? She's
Bearpaw?
making me feel
Could you
kind of
just tell me
unsafe
your
with
last
her.
name again?
You know,
Right,
it's
'cause there are
a
no
county.
elderly customers
It
here.
really doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. So,
Officer, could you ask her to
Bearpaw?
step away from the door? She's
Bearpaw?
making me feel
Could you
kind
just
of
tell me
unsafe with
your
her.
last name again? Bearpaw?
Yeah.
Okay, Aiden Bearpaw. Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care. God bless
thank
you.
you. You too.
Yeah, you're such a wonderful human being.
You are too.
Ultimately, the customer was forced to leave the premises and was unable to purchase her items. This was her just punishment for disregarding health and the law, especially during a sensitive time of the pandemic. According to California Penal Code 647A, disorderly conduct is defined as conduct that causes disorder or disruption of public activity. The law includes touching, cursing, or behaving inappropriately in a public place. Karen's behavior falls within this category of the law. If Karen's behavior continues, Karen will be subject to additional charges with penalties of up to 6 months in jail and/or a fine of up to $1,000. Thank you for joining us in exploring this important and troubling incident. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that delves into current events and social issues. And as always, we encourage you to engage in thoughtful discussions and reflect on how we can all contribute to a more understanding and compassionate world.